Ishi and welcome to my O.W.L.s Magical Readathon vlog. So in this vlog I will be reading Queen of Nothing and Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which is why I want to make this vlog very fairy-like and magical to go with the vibes of these books. Anyways, the career I'm going after is astronomer, in case you haven't watched my TBR. There's no reason to watch my TBR because I have not stuck to it. I actually have already read one book for my career, and that book was nowhere on my TBR. I read The Fellowship of the Ring, which is the first book in Lord of the Rings. The astronomer career only requires me to read 2 other books after that, so the next subject I'm hoping to tackle is astronomy, the prompt for which is to read a book when it's dark outside, and for that I'm going to be reading Queen of Nothing. I know I had a little montage of me reading this outside in the sun when it was clearly not dark outside, but not to worry, I actually didn't read a single page. This book doesn't fit any of the prompts for me anymore, but I really wanted to reread Harry Potter, which is why I'm gonna be reading it anyway. Hey guys, it's the same day. I just changed into pajamas, but I actually found the Heartstopper graphic novel online, so I'm just sitting here and reading it. I don't know what prompt it could possibly fit, and at this point, I think I'm just gonna try and finish like all the prompts. Also, while looking through some audiobooks that my library offers, I found this one called Legacy of Magic by Ellen Dugan. So it's about this girl named Autumn Bishop, and she is just your average grad student who happens to be a seer. And when she moves in with her long-lost aunt and some cousins, she finds out that even though they look relatively normal, their little family turns out to be much, much more. When ancient traditions, long-standing magical feuds, ghostly visitors, and witches with malicious intentions start coming out of the woodwork, Autumn finds herself smack in the middle of the action as everything she thought she knew is turned upside down. I've been in the biggest mood to read like magical ghostly books, so I'm really excited for this one because it's pretty short. The audiobook is about 6 hours long. Because I usually listen to audiobooks at twice the speed, I can finish this book in like 3 hours tonight once the sun goes down, so then I can count this as my astronomy read. Last night, I started reading Legacy of Magic, and something was wrong with the audiobook that I got for it, and it only started out at chapter 3, so I never really got introduced into the story and to the characters and setting because I couldn't find chapter 1 and 2 anywhere, so I already didn't know what was going on, and just like the tone of the whole book was off, I just could not get into it. Like, I did my best trying to figure all the characters out and figure the settings out. I just like didn't like it. So after listening to a couple chapters, I decided to not read it anymore. Anyways, last night, not only did I read Heartstopper Volume 1, I also read Heartstopper Volume 2 and Heartstopper Volume 3. So if you don't know, Heartstopper is actually like an ongoing webcomic, and the author uploads like new pages of it several times a month. Heartstopper is about this guy named Charlie, and he is in high school in grade 10, I think, and he's like the only openly gay person at his school. He meets this guy named Nick who is straight, but like obviously not, because he's the love interest, and they get to know each other, and it's just so cute. The first volume was just about the two of them meeting and becoming friends and getting to know each other, and the second volume explores a lot of Nick's sexuality because he's bisexual, and volume 3 also explores a bit about how Charlie has been dealing with this eating disorder, and so I think that is going to be explored more in the next volume as well. There is so much diversity in these webcomics, like not only ethnically but in other ways as well. There's gay characters, bi characters, there's a trans character, just so much diversity, and it's so refreshing refreshing to see, like especially after reading books that just have that one token person of color or that one gay best friend type of character.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I thought I'd tell you guys really quickly about all the different prompts I've completed already for the owls. The first book I finished in April was The Battle of the Labyrinth, and I decided to count this for the Transfigurations prompt because there's lots of monsters and people in Percy Jackson who can shapeshift. Obviously, the monsters can take different shapes and the gods themselves have the freedom to choose whatever form they want to appear in, so I think that counts pretty well for that prompt. The next book I finished was The Last Olympian, and I counted this for the Defense Against the Dark Arts prompt. At the start of this book, Percy's actually like underwater. He's in the ocean in his dad's kingdom, and the majority of this battle also takes place super close to like the Atlantic Ocean and the coast. So like I mentioned earlier, I also read The Fellowship of the Ring, which I counted for History of Magic, the prompt for which was to read a book with witches or wizards, and Gandalf is obviously a wizard. Heartstopper Volume 1 I counted for Ancient Runes, which was to read a book with heart on the cover. Heartstopper Volume 2 I counted for Astronomy, which was to read a book entirely at night, and I read all of these at night, so Heartstopper Volume 3 I counted for Muggle Studies, which was to read a book from the perspective of a Muggle. Heartstopper is obviously a contemporary, so that fit pretty well as well. Anyways, I am going to continue on with Queen of Nothing, but instead of counting it for the prompt I originally intended, I'll count it for Charms, which was to read a book with a white cover. And this has kind of like a whitish purple cover, and I know some other people are counting it for Charms as well, so I am literally on page 1 and they have already mentioned Carden's tail. Like, he's a newborn in this scene. I don't need to know about his tail. Page 2, his tail is mentioned again. I hate it so much. There is nothing in this world I hate more than Carden's tail. Hey guys, so today is Wednesday and I actually had a final yesterday from 6 to 9 p.m. and then I also had a final this morning from 8 to 11. So after my final last night, I stayed up all night preparing for my final this morning, and I'm so tired. I took like a little nap after my final this morning and it's like 3 o'clock right now, but I'm so tired. But I'm forcing myself to stay up all day so that I can go to bed early and fix my non-existent sleep schedule. Today I actually have like a couple small assignments to finish, and after finishing those I think I'm gonna read Queen of Nothing a little bit, and it's just gonna be like a chill day. Today we went to this park near our house and they planted like 7,500 tulips. It was so pretty. It was nice going outside after like so long. Okay, so they're kissing. They're literally about to have sex. And just listen to this sentence. His tail lashes back and forth, the furred end stroking over the back of my calf. A big spoiler here, but Carden has just turned into a giant snake. That just seems so unnecessary. Why? Like, why? I don't think we get to see Jude and Carden together enough for me to believe that they're in love. I need more of their banter. I need more of them in actual scenes together. In this book, halfway through, he just turns into a giant snake. They spent this whole book trying to figure out this curse, because in the beginning, in the prologue, we get to know what this like prophecy about Carden was. Literally on page 2 of this book, the prophecy said, "He will be the destruction of the crown and the ruination of the throne. Only out of his spilled blood can a great ruler rise. The moment I read that sentence, I knew that Cardan was gonna die somehow, but not really die somehow and come back a better ruler. I knew that from page 2. So this whole like climax, this whole random thing of him turning into a snake, it was not it, because I knew from page 2 that this was gonna happen. I knew what the whole plot would be, and that was exactly what happened. I do like Jude and Cardan together though. I think they're cute, but they're together too soon. I feel like they need more time to get to know each other before they're like, oh, like I love you. There was this really cute scene though with the two of them that I really loved, probably my favorite in this book. So it was when Cardan was talking about his time while he was turned into a snake. He said, I knew little else, but I always knew you. And I was like, that's precious. I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars. Not my favorite, but I don't hate it. Probably will never reread it.
Next morning.
Just noticed that both the illustrated version and the text version have Hedwig on the cover, meaning they have a beak on the cover, meaning I can count it for the Care of Magical Creatures prompt. I just finished chapter 1 and it's just as magical and wonderful as I thought it would be, and I'm so happy to be reading this again. It just kind of evokes a sense of wonder and mystery, like especially that first chapter. I love it. Okay, I'm a part of the way into the second chapter and I genuinely do not understand why the Dursleys are that cruel to Harry. The Dursleys have no reason to treat him as badly as they do. Like imagine having a baby and just having him grow up in some cupboard under the stairs with spiders. Harry deserved a better childhood. Don't even get me started on Dumbledore, that vile man who let Harry grow up with these horrible cousins.
Never insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me.
I'm gonna take a break and watch Lord of the Rings. Hey guys, happy Sunday.
Fine day, Sunday. In my opinion, best day of the week.
So I am actually in Slytherin, but today I'm wearing a Gryffindor shirt because I don't actually own any Slytherin merch. And I am in the part of the book where Harry's playing in his first ever Quidditch match, so thought I would cheer him on. I'm like this much of the way through, and that one iconic line that Hermione says,
it's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
it's not even in the book. And then also the scene where they're fighting the troll, right? It says over here that the troll is 12 feet tall. And then it says over here that Harry took a great running jump and managed to fasten his arms around the troll's neck from behind. This boy literally jumped 12 feet into the air because this troll wasn't like stooped over or anything. I have to be impressed. Another thing that really bugged me in the movies was that when Harry and Ron are fighting the troll in the bathroom, Harry takes his wand out of the troll's nose and wipes it in his own robes.
Troll bogies.
But we all know that book Harry is smarter, sassier, and just all around better. So Harry in the book definitely does not wipe troll boogers on his robe. He wipes it in the troll's trousers. Okay, Malfoy is such a brat. Draco Malfoy is honestly one of my favorite characters in the series, but I've also been in the Harry Potter fandom for so long that the lines between like what actually happens in the books and like fandom created headcanons is kind of blurred in my head. But reading this first book again, I'm remembering how nasty he was. I finished and I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars, of course. There were so many things in here that I wanted to mark up and like tab and stuff, but obviously I don't want to mark up my illustrated version. And this one actually doesn't belong to me, it belongs to my sister, so obviously cannot mark that one up either. I do want my own set of Harry Potter, like the original hardback version. I want them so I can annotate them. Anyways, a quick wrap up of everything that went on this week. I read Heartstopper volumes 1, 2, and 3, and I absolutely loved them. 5 out of 5 stars for all 3 of them. Amazing. I read Queen of Nothing. It was okay. And I read Harry Potter, and I absolutely loved it. I think the next books I'm going to tackle for the O.W.L.s Readathon are Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf and Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Please let me know what you thought of it. My name's Ishi. Thank you for spending time with me, and I hope your day is as wonderful as you are.